Hey everyone, the name is Kris Barocsi. Today I want to show you how I record solos for my album, and I want to announce the guest bass player on this song that I'm working on right now. The song is called This Dawn, and the guest bass player is, I don't want to tease it for too long, it's the one and only Julia Hofer. You know Julia, bass player legend at this point, and bass host on the Thomann Guitars and Basses channel. Wonderful human being and an incredible musician. And I asked Julia if she would be so kind as to record one song at least for the album, and she said yes. I'm super hyped about it, and this was the perfect song. Like when she said yes, this was the song I was thinking about immediately, knowing her style and knowing how this is probably the best fit. It's sort of an easygoing, sort of a good vibe kind of groove, and that's what I want to show first before I play. And I think this is going to be the rhythm part under my solo, and it goes like this. You can already hear Julia's awesome bass playing over Hees's drum groove, which is, again, Jan plays most of the songs on the album. He plays drums and is a fantastic musician. Love the way he mixes and records his drums as well. I have a solo already. Let's talk about the solo. So this section of this song is something that I wrote years ago when I made like an intro track for a YouTube video. I had this guitar rhythm part already happening. This whole thing, this whole lick, and I had an improvised solo on top of that in the original video, and I really like that solo, so I will stick to that solo that I wrote back then, and I'll try to nail it in one go. Nope. Mm-mm. Maybe this one? Okay, that's fine. I can live with that. I will obviously listen to it a couple of more times until I feel like I'm 100% sure that it's that there's nothing in there that's gonna annoy me for the rest of my life. Because yeah, it's not a live recording, it's an album, so you you want to have your best takes on there, but I don't want to start punching into everything. You know, whatever my limitations are going to be on the album, but I want to have the best of me on there, I guess. And there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about here. In terms of rig, I already have delay and reverb and everything on there. I am recording everything the way it should sound at the end. I'm not recording a dry guitar tone, maybe even like a line signal that I can reamp later or whatever. I want to commit. I want to record exactly the kind of tone with the type of effects and the amount of effects that I want to have in the mix at the end. Now that's always risky. So if someone asks me how I recommend recording, I don't recommend doing this unless you know how to guess these things, at least to a certain degree. And if you have some experience, you can definitely get away with this, but it's just a lot more risky, because if I realize later that it's too much delay, well, then I have to re-record the whole solo section, because it's there. It's not going to change. I cannot reduce or change the delay time or the mix between dry and wet. It's what it is. And by the way, this is the tone, and this is why I went for this one. I'll explain what I'm using in a sec. Just listen to it. It's just epic. It is my dream tone, so that's why I went for this setting and this rig for this solo, because this is just one of those like pretty overdriven kind of sounds that I enjoy a lot, and I wanted to record it with my tone. If there's a rig that gives me my tone that I could live with forever and use for whatever, that's this. It's the Tele going into the good old Castellator Toxic Twins, going into the Rev D40, the Dynamis head, and then going into the aux. And the aux does a lot more than just a cabinet and mic simulation. It gives me the 2x12 Alnico speaker loaded cab sim that I use most of the time, but also it has some reverb, plate reverb, not a lot, but that's definitely there, and the stereo delay, which is amazing. I love using that so much, because I record both outputs of the aux, the left and right. I can just literally record 2 tracks in the DAW and just pan them like 100% left for one side, 100% right for the other side, and then with one playing I already have a stereo recording, which is crazy. Even though I'm just using one amp, the Rev, I have a stereo sound. And that's because the stereo effect comes from the aux box, which sits after that one amplifier. So you can actually fake having a dual amp rig, or like you can do like a wet dry if you want to even. But this is like an amazing way of recording epic guitar sounds, and I wanted to capture that. It's just such a crazy good delay in the aux that I whenever it fits, I tend to stick to that. So yeah, I will then commit. I will record it the way it is. I don't know, for some reason I feel much better when I know how it will sound when I record already, before I even start mixing anything. I just have the volume balance here somewhat under control, that I hear all the instruments, but it's not mixed. This is as raw as the recording can be. And that's because I already commit to certain tones and record with certain rigs to make sure that it sounds a certain way, and I don't have to trick a lot. I don't have to change anything when I'm mixing together with Jan, the drummer, who's a much better audio engineer than I am. But this is just gonna be fine tuning at the end instead of trying to fix it in the mix, right? Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one, and let me know how you record guitars whenever you have like a song idea or record a demo or like a full album, whatever it is. Do you commit? Do you Do you make your tone before you record and then press the red button? Or do you record, I don't know, like reamp everything or use plugins and don't really care for the sound whilst recording and worry about the tone of all the instruments later on when you're mixing? Yeah, I want to see what your opinion is and what you prefer in the comments below, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.